Page 129. Dodi liva ani lo haro bashoshani. Dodi liva ani lo haro bashoshani. Mizotola min hamidbar. Mizotola mekuteret more ulevona dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani libavtini achoti kala libavtini kala libavtini achoti kala libavtini kala dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani uri safon uvo iteman uri safon uvo iteman dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani dodi liva anilo haroe bashoshani.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all of you and welcome. Those of you who I've seen throughout the summer, those of you who I haven't seen in a little while, and those of you who I've never met before. All of you are welcome tonight at the end of this beautiful week. I know that Peter and Marlo just came back from Israel and Croatia and where else? Spain and Poland. And I know Catherine and Fred are on their way to Mexico and Sicily. Anyone else coming or going from anywhere exciting that they want to share with us? You're going to Bucharest, but that's not till October, right? But that's exciting and unusual. In Paris, okay. Well, good. Well, I hope all of us on our various journeys have a rewarding and fulfilling time. And speaking of Israel, I think Israel is on the minds of a lot of people this week. It's been a very tumultuous week in Israel, a very difficult week. I think some would even say a very sad and tragic week in that Israelis were not able to come up with a compromise in terms of how to deal with the Supreme Court. Some Israelis, maybe half the country, want reform, what they view as reform, and some Israelis, half the country, view what is called reform to be an erosion of democracy. And hundreds of thousands of Israelis are protesting in the streets, and Israel is at least as polarized as our country, if not more. So on this Shabbat and throughout the summer, as this plays out in the Jewish state, our thoughts and prayers are with our brothers and sisters in Israel as they try to navigate this challenge to their country and as it plays out in a way that hopefully will be in the best interest of Jews living in Israel and Jews around the world. Very challenging situation. We're going to begin our service with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and I'd like to invite Cynthia Coma up to the bima. If you want to follow along, the blessing is on page 120.
There's also those two.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 142. You know, I mentioned the conflict in Israel. This song we're about to sing, Shalom Aleichem, was written only 400 or 500 years ago, but it expresses a sentiment that sadly is part of the human condition for millennia. There's always conflict. There's always tension. There are always disagreements. And in our Jewish liturgy, certainly on Shabbat, but in many of our other prayers as well, we always pray for peace. We always aspire to a state of shalom, to a state of shlemut, a condition of wholeness, of peace, of harmony. It's aspirational. We never seem to get there, but it doesn't mean that each and every Shabbat we still shouldn't pray and sing that that day may one day come. So please join us with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Techem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash me Rabbah, v'alma divra shirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'cha yechon uv'yom echon uv'chaye decho beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imiru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mavarach, La'olam Ul'olmei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithale, V'yithalav, Shemei Dekudesha Barichu, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiram B'yama, V'imeru, Amen.
We continue on page 146 with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Please rise, and I'd like to invite up our rabbinic intern, Art Grand, to lead us.
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed.
In the English, on page 148, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are the creator of day and night, rolling away darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch atah Adonai in the evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'avir Aravim. On the top of 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggles for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to know. Lead me into mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha
bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, uvlektecha vaderech, uveshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam laot ayadecha, v'hayu latotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvisharecha lema'an tiskaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught when we stood before at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by holding hands, marching together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora oseh, Nora oseh, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'elianu v'yamaru, Ze'elianu v'yamaru, Adonai le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh.
This next prayer on 161 was added to the service in ancient times when there were highway robbers. It was a prayer, may we all get home safely after the service. And so tonight, we particularly pray for peace, for safety, for our brothers and sisters in the land of Israel. On the top of page 161, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts, eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen.
rise for the Amidah on page 164.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechalchel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'Guvurot, U'Midom Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechaye, U'Matmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalalu Chasela, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 179. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milcham. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy
At this point in our service, our thoughts turn to those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our congregation or those known and loved by our community: Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camissia, Joshua Hyman, Jesse Friedman, Marjorie Gilberg, Jim Mates, Brenda Flood, Sharon Blevis, Walter Wilmert, Jerry Mautner, Kirk Whitlatch, David Rabb, Jensen Beach, Aaron Ledden, Geraldine Kokich, David Mendelson, Rachel Sadek, Blake Battles, Michaela Cohen, Miguel Gonzalez, Carmen Galaz, Diane Rado Persile, Maeve Lu Huang, Janet Marbury, Bernita Ladrigan, and Chechi Gastillo. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add to our list, I invite you to please do so. Fred? The Misha Berach is on page 511.
We're going to be doing, there's a few different renditions. We're doing the one at the very top of the page, and we're going to try to sing just the part we haven't sung with this other melody that shouldn't be new by this point. Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, Imale Rachamim Alehem Leha Chaliman Ularapotam Uleha Chazikam Ulhazikam HaKadosh Baruch Hu Misha Berach Avotenu Misha Berach Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yivarech et HaCholim.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and welcome. As I think many of you know, I was supposed to be taking a sabbatical this summer, and I did make it to New York and London for a couple of weeks, and I taught in London, spoke at a couple of different synagogues there, and I'll be sharing some of my experiences with you during the high holidays. But for a variety of reasons, I was supposed to be gone the month of July. I came back early. And Art Grand has been covering for me since I've been away and has been preparing Divrei Torah, teachings on Shabbat since I've been gone. And I've been able to hear the last couple of them. And I am so grateful for your wisdom and your insight and your life experience. And Art is going to be sharing another Divrei Torah with you now, and then I'll be taking over again next Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion contains some of the most profound words in the entire Torah, the Shema and the V'ahavta. The Shema has a simple theme, and when we sing it together, there's a sense of peace, a sense of community. The words seem to call out to us, urging us to lead softer, more gentle lives. V'ahavta reminds us that life is about love, that life is about opening up to God and opening up to each other. And life is about gently teaching our children so that they too will know how to love. There was a Hasidic teacher who asked, how do we love God? And he found the answer by looking in all the places in the Torah where the Torah commands us to love. First, he noticed the Torah commands us to love our neighbors, and then it commands us to love the stranger. And then finally, towards the very end, it commands us to love God. The order he taught gives us the answer to how to love God. We love God by loving God's children. We love God by hearing the cry of the stranger, by comforting the mourner, by celebrating with the bride and groom. We love God by caring, by helping each other. And perhaps most importantly, we love God by listening. Open up a Torah and look at the V'ahavta, and then look just one word above it, and you see the Shema. Hear, O Israel, it says, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. We think of the Shema as a prayer about oneness. But the Shema begins with the word hear. It urges us to listen. There's a song that Gordon's going to sing in a moment called Listen. It begins with these words. When you're lost, when you feel afraid, when you don't know what to say, then listen. Listen to our God. Other religions are visual, teaches Jonathan Sacks. They build idols and cathedrals. But Judaism grew up in the desert, a place where there are no monuments, no cathedrals. There was only the sound of the wind. And when we encountered God at Mount Sinai, there was no face, there was no vision. There was only a voice. So we learned to see the world more deeply, to listen to the cry of the stranger and the orphan. And over millennia, we learned that listening has the power to heal. Listening, recognizing the goodness and the holiness inside every person, is the greatest form of love. Each of us has a point of holiness, wrote Rav Nachman, a word that no one else can say, a word that can bring light into the lives of others and stir up their hearts and stir up the hearts of our friends. And our friends need us to say those words. When we stood at Mount Sinai, he wrote, God placed the power to heal in the hands of every Jew. All of us have the power to heal just by listening and saying the words that others need to hear. And together, if we listen, if we say the words, we can end all of the loneliness in the world. We love God by listening to others, by letting them know that we care, and by ending their loneliness. And that, perhaps, is what it means to love God. Gordon? Thank you.
If you're lost and feel afraid and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way, and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malachuto Leolam. Listen to our God. Listen to our God.
The Aleinu is on page 586. If you're able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tekedu la'liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo hosamanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohora lenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim, motim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. It is my honor and privilege now to invite up Fred Goldman, board member and treasurer and friend, to share some important announcements with you tonight.
Thank you, Niles. And thank you, Art and Gordon, for those wonderful words and thoughts that you presented. I thought they were very moving and brilliant. Thank you. Announcements, my first time. Let's see how well we do. Rabbi Goldstein and Art Grand will lead Torah study on the Book of Lamentations at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. The Jewish Summer Reading Program is well underway. We have volunteers to help provide access for families during the week. You can find details on the website calendar. Plus, for the kids who report on at least 5 books, there will be an end-of-summer pizza and popsicle dinner August 18th at 5 p.m. Is this available only for kids? Can I participate in that too? Okay. Ladies' Night Bunko will be Wednesday, August 2nd at 7 p.m. for $10. Register online or contact Maxine Maluso. On Saturday, August 12th at 10:30, Zoe Ewig will lead her bat mitzvah service. On Sunday, August 13th, join in the third poolside potluck from 3 to 6 p.m. RSVP online and let us know what non-dairy item you're bringing. Registration is still open for our Salon Series program on August 17th. There are more details online, and you can find flyers in the foyer. It's time to register your kids for religious school. The first day back will be Sunday, August 20th. If you have questions, contact Mara, our new education director, via email or by calling the synagogue office. L'chaim is back for another summer at CIA Copia, and tickets are on sale now via Eventbrite for the festivities on August 27th. It's a wonderful event, food, wine, music, everything Napa is known for, all in one place. You should come. If any members are looking to connect more with fellow CBS members and have an idea for a tribe, please contact Lauren, as new tribes are always welcome. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Ethan Pearson, Anita Penzler, James Bronk, Hillary Hamzy, Aidan Harvey, Phyllis Clyde, Sally Besser, Kim Borders, and Cheryl Warfield. And we also have anniversaries. Happy anniversary to Susan and Pac Warfield, their 41st. Cy and Beverly Carfiol, their 69th. Wow. David and Elaine Freed, 60th. And Christopher and Marta Moriski, their 23rd. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And I have one thing I want to add. Gordon's probably too humble to do it himself, but Porch Fest is Sunday. And all of this, Old Town area is going to be filled with music and food and drinks. And Gordon's going to be performing. So if you want to see him in a context outside of all this Jew stuff, and he's really good, I'm going to try to go. Give us some more details.
More details?
Yeah.
I'll be a block away from here, over on Laurel, right across from Fuller Park. I forget the address, but it's literally around the corner, the next block over. I'm going to leave my car here so I have a parking spot. That is a perk. one of the perks about, yeah. So anyway, it's just 45 minutes. We're just doing 45-minute set, but I'm going to do mostly original stuff, so it should be. I'm going 3:30 to 4:15. Thanks. Good point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can look up the address again, I'll look up the address right after services, and then you can ask me because
3:30.
they hadn't
3:30 on
posted
Sunday.
it. Yeah.
Okay. And I've seen Gordon in past Porch Fests, and it's always really fun. So hopefully you can make it.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you.
Sure.
As we near the end of our service, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We remember those who have died during the past year. Paul Dworsky, Ed Eston, Micah Beisel, Colonel Ed West, Jill Daly Katz, Gabriel Harrison Escalera, Joe McCaffrey, Ruth Morlett, Lords Blake, Othello Thornton, Alan Rosen, Fred Goldman, Ann Rapson, Bob Massey, Lucille Posner, Bunny Goldstein, William Bill Lenish, Barbara Cosson, Minnie Shostak, Kevin McCarville, Etta Kessler, Faye Goldstein Glick, and Diana Coyne. And we also remember and honor the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Adolf Becker, Ann Herman, Abraham Spitz, Abraham Solomon, Marty David, Nathan Bisberg, Joseph Shansky, Harriet Leah Sandler Purviance, Robert Blattis, Harry Sherman, Joseph E. Hochstatter, and Elizabeth Levinson. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add to our list, I invite you to please do so. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divrach heroteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam ulamei maya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved, and let us all say amen. Please be seated. Before our Kiddush and Motzi and the wine and yak and yeti, we have Indian food for our oneg tonight. Before we get to the blessings for that, we have our final song.
Sure. So I got a special request just minutes ago, literally minutes ago. So we're going to do that on page 625. Please join in. Adon Olam Asher Malak B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chesachol לנסה וחפסחו, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי כי כלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה
Thank you.
There we go.
I left my heart in Gordon Lustig.
Okay.
Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom.